Imagine a cop, the protector of law and order, secretly moonlighting as a drug dealer within prison walls. Sounds like a plot twist for a Hollywood thriller, right? But believe it or not, this is a chilling reality for some cops who exploit their authority to create their own criminal empires. Today, we expose the unsettling truth behind cops caught red-handed while selling drugs to inmates. So, don't miss out on these unbelievable tales of betrayal and corruption. Number 5. Sergeant Wayne Jenkins. Jenkins, once a respected figure in the Baltimore Police Department, is now inmate number 62928-037 in a federal prison in Kentucky. He's serving a hefty 25-year sentence for a litany of crimes committed during his tenure as the head of the Gun Trace Task Force, GTTF, including conspiracy, racketeering, and robbery. But just when you thought his story couldn't get any more astonishing, it did. Jessica Lusenhop, an investigative journalist who had been reporting on the rise and fall of the GTTF, received an unexpected call from Jenkins. This wasn't a call from a private office or a comfortable home. It was a call from behind prison walls. Jenkins was reaching out from his confined cell to shed light on a disturbing truth. He had become a drug dealer even while serving time. In a series of phone calls, Jenkins shared the gritty details of life inside the prison walls. He described how he traded sausages with fellow inmates to secure his spot in line for the prison phone. But what he revealed next was even more startling. He admitted to selling drugs to other prisoners. Yes, you read that correctly. The man who had once worn a badge was now involved in the very illegal activities he had once been tasked with stopping. As shocking as this revelation is, it's a stark reminder of the harsh realities of life in prison. Jenkins claimed that he had been pushed into a corner by prosecutors, leading him to a plea agreement he didn't truly want. He also lamented the futility of life behind bars, where rehabilitation often feels like a distant dream. Number 4. Dexter Obryan Sistrunk, a 40-year-old resident of Converse. Dexter held a job as a correctional officer at the Florence County Detention Facility, a medium-security private prison situated in Carnes City. But here's where things take a twist. Dexter got himself into some hot water, and you won't believe why. He's facing charges for smuggling illegal drugs and forbidden items into the prison. Now, what makes this case particularly intriguing is that Dexter wasn't just dealing with one type of illegal stuff. Nope, he mixed it up big time. He's accused of smuggling not just one, but 3 different kinds of contraband, namely heroin, meth, and tobacco. And he allegedly pocketed a hefty sum of cash in return for his risky business. Should the courts find Dexter guilty, he's in for a heap of trouble. We're talking a potential sentence of up to 20 years behind bars in a federal prison. And if that weren't daunting enough, he might also have to dig deep into his pockets to pay a fine of up to $250,000. Yes, you heard that right, $250,000. So, you could say he's playing a very high-stakes game here. Now, one thing you guys should know about the Florence County Detention Facility. This isn't your everyday prison, it's a privately managed facility run by a company known as the GEO Group. It's been up and running since 2012 and can house as many as 679 male inmates. These individuals are serving time for a variety of offenses, breaking both state and federal laws. So, to put it mildly, this is a seriously strict place, and the last thing anyone needs in such a setting is a corrupt officer making matters worse. Number 3, Evelyn Bruton. In number 3, we have the crazy story of South Florida police officer Evelyn Bruton. She was charged with bringing illegal items into the state-run Everglades Correctional Institution while she was there. Evelyn didn't just calmly accept her fate. She went full action movie mode. When she rolled up to the checkpoint where they were about to inspect her car, she didn't stop for anyone. I'm talking about police dogs and all. She pulled a U-turn and hit the gas like her life depended on it. Now, You'd think that's where the story ends, right? Well, hold on to your hat, because it gets crazier. Her bosses and the Miami-Dade police joined the party, and they had themselves a 17-mile-long chase. Can you even imagine the adrenaline rush? The whole thing finally screeched to a halt near Florida's Turnpike, close to Southwest 152nd Street. After they nabbed her, the police went to town searching her white Chevrolet for any clues that might prove their suspicions right. And here's the kicker. She was still wearing her official badge and uniform when they cuffed her. The Florida Department of Corrections didn't mince words about this. They straight up said her actions were unacceptable and not in line with their standards. They're dead serious about keeping their facilities clean of contraband. Now, we're not sure what they found, if anything, in her car, but this whole situation leaves us with so many questions. What made her hit the gas like that? Was she mixed up in some shady stuff, or did panic get the best of her? It's a head-scratcher for sure, especially coming from someone in a position of authority. Number 2, Ladayisha Marie Bell. A 30-year-old woman named Ladayisha Marie Bell is being held without bail at the Florence County Detention Center. She's accused of dealing fentanyl and methamphetamine, two seriously dangerous drugs. On top of that, they're saying she had plans to distribute MDMA and cocaine. It's like she was running a drugstore, but her shop was the detention center and the customers were the inmates. I mean, seriously, what was she thinking? The place is crawling with security cameras, not to mention fellow guards and law enforcement officers who should have been on her side. She's even suspected of slipping a cell phone to a prisoner. Interestingly, she was a newbie on the job, having just joined the Florence County Detention Center as a corrections officer back in April of this year. Talk about a quick fall from grace. Right now, she's sitting in the same detention center she was supposed to be watching over, waiting for a bond hearing that's sure to be a spectacle. Sheriff T.J. Joy didn't mince words, saying, "It's always disheartening when someone from our own team betrays the public trust." He made it crystal clear that they won't tolerate any corruption in their ranks, sending a strong message that they won't sweep unlawful activities under the rug. Backing this up, Major Mike Nunn spilled more beans in a media advisory. He mentioned that investigators have some pretty damning evidence against Ladayisha Marie Bell, the correctional officer at the center of it all. Not only did they find her with illegal drugs, but they also suspect her of handing a cell phone to an inmate. In response, she got the boot from her county job. It goes to show that the county has a zero-tolerance policy for corruption, something Sheriff Joy has emphasized time and time again. Number 1, Christopher Nicholas Kosa. In number 1, we have Christopher Nicholas Kosa, a 28-year-old prison officer hailing from Cheshire. He found himself in hot water when he got arrested in New Haven for suspected narcotics possession, right at his workplace, the New Haven Correctional Center on Wally Ave. Now, the charges against Kosa are no joke. He's facing 2 counts of having drugs with the intent to sell and 1 count of attempting to sneak contraband into the prison. I bet you're curious about what those mysterious drugs are and how long he'd been involved in this risky business. Well, the authorities are playing it close to the chest for now, perhaps because they're still piecing things together or they don't want to tip off any other potential culprits. It appears that the personnel in charge at the correctional center had their suspicions about Kosa. Following some internal buzz, they decided to conduct a search on Tuesday when he was entering the building. And lo and behold, they found what they were looking for. Angel Quiros, the Department of Correction Commissioner, expressed his deep concern over a staff member being embroiled in such activities. He stressed that they're dead serious about upholding a safe and secure environment within their facilities, leaving no room for actions that jeopardize that safety. Quiros was keen to emphasize that Kosa's arrest shouldn't be taken as a reflection of the overall professionalism of the Department of Corrections staff. Now, what went down when Kosa faced the judge in New Haven Superior Court? Well, he was hit with a whopping $750,000 bail. No one's taking this lightly, that's for sure. As for ongoing investigations, both the Department of Corrections Security Division and the Connecticut State Police are on the case. And in case you were wondering, Kosa is no longer part of the correctional center's workforce. His career there was short-lived, having only started in February of this year. Do you believe that stricter screening and oversight of correctional officers are necessary to prevent such incidents? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on more gripping incidents.